economy is doing well by many measures, prices for everyday things like groceries are still too high. You know it and I know it. You know, when I was Attorney General, I went after price-fixing schemes. And when I am president, it will be a day one priority to fight to bring down prices. I will take on big corporations that engage in illegal price gouging.
So it's greedy corporations, not her and Joe Biden's crappy policies, that are causing food prices to soar through the roof. Kamala Harris trying to rewrite history, but obviously you and I both know that the corporations aren't to blame. It's her crappy policies. So now here she is pitching another one, which is price gouging, apparently. And she's going to, which is very Soviet Union-ish, start controlling the pricing of food. Yeah, that should go over really well. Again, most economists will tell you it's not really a good idea. Most of them do not support it. Strategists will tell you this is a horrible idea. But Kamala Harris will still keep pitching it anyway because she doesn't want the blame for Joe Biden's poor policies. She's going to blame companies. That's the message they're sending out there. And she's not alone. Corporate media is jumping on board to help her out. Axios pushing this new ridiculous headline, specifically saying don't call it price controls. How price gouging bans really work. Again, lying to you, the American people, pretending like these actually work. But they're trying to rewrite all of this. And interesting enough, thankfully, X now does actual fact checking. And take a look at this. The fact checkers are actually fact checking this Axios reporter by specifically saying that the same author of this story has also used price controls when talking about how the UK proposed that same exact belief of grocery store profits and trying to control pricing. So again, using Axios' own reporting as they're trying to rewrite history for Kamala Harris. And then also citing another Axios report, which uses the quote, price controls when it was proposed to limit how much Russia could profit off of oil in order to, limit the crisis they were going through when they were dealing with all of those restrictions in regards to their war in Ukraine. So again, folks, they're just trying to rewrite history. They're hoping that you're just as dumb as they are, and they don't want you to know the truth. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have really supported and pushed through horrific policies that have affected the prices that you're paying right now at the grocery store, and they don't want to talk about it. But joining me to discuss all of this is a man who will keep it true to you and not lie to you, of course, like the corporate media will. Jason Nelson joins me now. He's one of the great co-founders over at fuelprepper.com. Jason, thank you for jumping on. I wanted to talk to you about this because the price gouging, price controls, whatever they want to call it, it's very Soviet Union-ish. It doesn't sound very American at all. And well, it doesn't sound like it's going to work. All these experts are saying it's not going to work, that it's actually a horrible idea, but she's still going to push it. And the corporate media is pretending like it's not communist at all. Like this isn't something that communist regimes would be doing. So what's your takeaway from all of this? And how do you think it's going to go if she does get to implement price gouging bans?
Democrats must seem to think that bread lines is a euphemism for a low carb diet. This idea of putting in controls is to imply in some way along the chain, the food supply chain, that there is someone who is making exorbitant margins on their products. When in reality, we've seen shrinkflation take place because they cannot continue to maintain a quality of and size of products when you're talking about inflation and how it's impacted the American economy over the last 3 years, due directly to the Biden-Harris policies. As we came out of COVID, instead of us being able to recuperate and move forward as an economy, they moved us so sluggishly and slowly that they decimated our supply chain. They decimated small farmers, small producers, small processors, essentially turning it over to these same corporations they're now blaming. But again, I've seen the prices directly as they've risen. And of course, we insulated ourselves by preparing, funny enough, prepping early to make sure that we had the cattle, that we had prime cattle set aside at rates from 2 years ago. Of course, that's run out, and we've been able to take advantage of that. But the American people are seeing it, whether it be the price of ground beef. I think we talked about this, Breanna, a year ago, didn't we? We said one of the indicators, called it. I said it. Watch ground beef. Watch ground beef go up, and of course, it is up 50%. And that's exactly what I said it would be. And I said it's going to continue to go up. I said it would be 100%, didn't I? And we're not there yet, but we're going to get there. And all of this has to do with across the board bad policies, whether it be EPA policies, Bureau of Land Management policies, definitely energy policies, where they've made us an energy dependent country again. All of these things have raised costs across the board that are directly passed on to the consumer because, one, corporations don't run on massive margins. You can argue about their corporate salary structures, but the reality is if you handed that money out to the workers, you're talking about a $10 a year increase. So where's this money going? Well, they have a fiduciary responsibility to make money for their shareholders, who are teachers unions, firefighters, police unions, probably the 401k of every single member of Congress. So in other words, they're going to make profit. They're required to make profit, which means that they're going to do what? They're going to cut jobs. They're going to cut availability. They're going to create food deserts. We're going to see the availability and productivity of food and our farmers go away in this nation very quickly. And we're already at 75-year lows when it comes to cattle. So, what they're doing is essentially destroying what's left of our breadbasket in this nation. And we're doing it at a time when no other nations can afford to ship food around the world.
Yeah, and it's concerning too because, we covered it on this show, but the bird flu, when they were trying to pitch this as a pandemic that was coming our way soon, they killed 1 million chickens and turkeys. I mean, it was so outrageous, but they did this even though they weren't testing positive for bird flu. They weren't infected. They were saying that they were just trying to be cautious. And these were the government agencies that were forcing farmers to kill their turkeys and chicken. And then they were trying to pitch it as something that we should do for cattle as well. And that was concerning, but thankfully they didn't get to make a move on that, I believe. But they don't seem to understand it. They seem to think that they can continue to push and overregulate and do all of these things, and there's no penalties. Or maybe they do know, Jason. Maybe they do know that all these policies that they're pushing are going to hurt farmers, going to hurt corporations, and they want folks to be relying on the government at this point. Are you a little bit more optimistic in this front, though? Maybe just thinking that they're a little naive and just don't get it?
No, Breanna, we wouldn't have created this company. And when I retired after a 19 and a half year career in the Marine Corps and Army Special Operations and retired under medical reasons, but the reason I left, I got to be super specific now due to Tim AWOLs, right? But the reason when I left, the reason that we undertook this mission was because we foresaw this happening. It's not hard to take a look at trends and understand. It's not hard to listen to their own words. When they say that they want you to eat bugs, they want you to eat bugs. And you just said right there, I don't know what they're doing. Well, guess what? They're testing cattle right now for bird flu, which, and I got to ask you something. If they want to find it, are they going to find it? I think they are. And then you'll find them culling herds that are at 75-year lows. So again, this is not something that they've hidden from us. They've made it very clear. You're not trying to scare people, but look at how much more expensive food has gotten. I'm proud to say that our prices have not risen, and you've been with us for a long time here at Fuel Prepper, and so you know that we haven't raised our prices in the last year, and that's because we became insulated from this. But we did it for a reason. We did it because we knew Americans were not going to have the option of having this food available to them. It wasn't just for everyday emergencies, but it's also for preparing for the inevitable future where they're going to provide us with very limited access to food. And they're going to sit here and put more price controls in, and then they're going to start blaming other industries. It's almost like reading Atlas Shrugged, but watching it in the real world. And so, yes, it is very communist. It's very Soviet Union-esque, but it is what they're doing. So what do we need? We need to stop complaining about it, create a solution, and create some food insurance for our families. And we do that by going in and creating a product that's better than what's out there. We didn't want to make a survival food. We wanted to make it so that people could get sous vide, freeze-dried beef that would last for 25 years and be able to sit here and have high protein from prime Texas cattle, and not be some beef crumbles, not be some taco flavored beef gruel or whatever it is that they're serving these days. Something you could pair with what you're already eating now, and you can sort of thrive rather than survive. But again, I would actually go back and say, Breanna, a year ago, the people we were selling it to were people who wanted to stock up and have healthy, wholesome food for their family in an emergency, in case the power went out due to a hurricane, in case there was an earthquake. Now I can tell you that over half of our customers are people who are buying it because they're finding themselves in further and further inside of food deserts. They're seeing that in urban areas, the cost of food has risen so much that this is their only insurance right now to ensure that in the next coming months, the next year, they're going to have food, especially with this coming civil unrest that they have planned for us.
Yeah, that's the disturbing part in all of this too. And I think it's important to come up with a plan, and fuelprepper.com does just that. So if all of you guys at home right now understand something, there's a lot of prepper companies. This isn't anything like that's on the market. And that's the reason why we love having you on, Jason, to talk about this, because you have these great products that are freeze dried, but they're actual cuts of meat. They're the New York strip, the filet, the sirloin. You guys have it on this website, which is incredible. And you also understand your customer base. Most of us are looking to kind of slowly build up a supply. And so you've got different options. You could buy individual packages. You could buy the packages, the 10 packs together. And you could also do the subscription service, which saves you money as well. So just for our audience right now at home, if you guys are looking to learn a little bit more about it, take a look around, head over to fuelprepper.com right now. With promo code BRE25, that's BRE25, you're going to save 25% off. But when they subscribe as well, this is my favorite part, you get the extra 10% off. So you're going to be saving 35%. And these prices right now, Jason, because you've done such a great job at kind of planning for these Biden economics that we have today, these prices are extremely low, but they're not going to remain low for long. And so that's why it's important to make a move on this now, to head over to fuelprepper.com, use promo code BRE25. That subscription service is amazing because it helps you slowly build up your supply. If you're someone who just wants to maybe get a package a month, you guys get to do that. And you can also cancel whenever. And also the best part about these products, I got to say, they last up to 25 years if you store them properly. That's a big one. Jason, is there anything else I'm missing? I feel like I love your products so much. I've eaten them myself. It's pretty simple. I just, put a little beef broth over it. You could boil the beef broth if you can. If you can't, you don't have to. And you just let it kind of rehydrate. And it's just as simple as that, I think. Is there any favorite recipes that you're hearing from your customer base about these products?
Most people, I find that they pair it. Once they've learned and understood that it's actually whole cuts of beef, and they can turn around and just rehydrate it, wait 15 minutes after they heat up some beef broth, pour it over it, and wait 15 minutes. What they're doing is, they're actually incorporating into their normal recipes. And so it doesn't just have to be a beef stew or something that disguises the food, that they're actually highlighting the meat, that they're turning around and making wok fried things that they could sit here and present it in such a way that I'm pretty proud of that. But if I made a face, I apologize. When you said BRE25, I'm going to let it stand. We'll let that. We have gone back away from the 25% discount. But for your audience, and I really mean this, because Breanna, I know your audience. I know that the stories you break are so important for the American people. What you just did with the Tulsi Gabbard case, those are huge things for us. And your audience is an educated audience. So we'll let the promo code stand, but we're going to put a timestamp on it. So get in there, go to fuelprepper.com and use BRE25 before I remember it, and then we go back and change it. So sorry about that.
That was my fault.
Oh, it's okay. You know what? You're right, though. Our mission is not to sit here and create some global empire. Our job is to sit here and get this in as many people's hands as possible. Folks, I didn't create this company and we didn't partner up here, Breanna, because there's a whole lot of money and freeze-dried food. The real reason is because we feel it's our civic responsibility to take care of people and to let them be able to take care of themselves. This is the one thing that we have is to be able to be self-reliant as an American is really what defines us. And I want you and your families to be self-reliant. So thank you for partnering with us. Thank you for giving me this slot and this opportunity to talk about it. Yes, it is the only product of its kind on the market. But more importantly, again, it's available at a cost right now that is very, very, it puts your family at an advantage and gives you the insurance that you absolutely need. So encourage you, go to fuelprepper.com, use BRE25 while you can. And we'd love to have you, our family there. Yeah.
I know. Well, Jason, just in case people are listening, maybe they're watching this maybe a month out, what is the preferred promo code then when this sale is over?
Bree, we're going to give you a 15% off because we love you and your audience. So it'll be Bree, BRE 15. But for right now, they can go ahead and use Bree 25 and take advantage of that. Again, this is about putting insurance in people's pantries, which is more important to me than anything.
Thank you, Jason. We appreciate that as always. And thank you so much for all the work that you do as well, because we are very, very grateful for that. And thank you for your service. As our audience knows, we love our vets and we love supporting our veteran-owned businesses. So thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
I want to let you in on a little secret. It's this great sale that's going on right now. You don't want to miss out on it, of course. It's over at mypillow.com. Mike Lindell has his $25 extravaganza going on right now. These are all the items you're going to want to stock up on, of course. He's got pillows, bed sheets, slippers, sandals, so many items that you guys love. They're on sale. And in order to secure these great deals, you have to use promo code BRE. That's promo code BRE. That's going to secure you the best savings available right now. He's even got blankets on sale, folks. And if you got a dog at home, the dog beds are also on sale for $25. My pups love the dog beds, even the blanket as well, the pet blanket. So make sure you head on over to mypillow.com right now and use promo code BRE if you're looking to save up to 66% off.